Hi everyone, welcome back to Cloud Expert Ayush. Today I am going to show you how to set up GitHub and push your first file like a pro. So let's begin. For the same here, first of all, we are going to create one GitHub account. So here I am opening up github.com. So first step is to set the GitHub account. When you open github.com, then click here on sign up. Here provide the email. So this is the one I am using, and I am giving my password. Username could be unique, so I'm using here Ayush class heavy. You can select your country region, check this one, it's optional, then you can go with create account. Okay, now here it will give you some captcha. That captcha you have to fill, and that's fine. So verification complete. Now whatever the email ID you have provided here, on the same email ID you will receive one code from the GitHub. So in my case it is this one. Okay, so let me copy this code from here and pasting it. That's fine. So now my GitHub account is ready. I can sign in here, and this is how much simple you can create a fresh GitHub account for free. Once you have the GitHub account in place, you can go ahead and create your first repository. For the same, you have to click here on the click repository option, and then you can give the name of your repository. In my case, I am giving the name, for example, my first repo. So this is the name of my repository what I have created. It is up to you how you want to set the visibility, public or private. If you set it private, you need to make a login to access the repository. If you make it public, then anyone can access your repo. So this is a very basic video for the GitHub repo setup. So I'm leaving all the options as it is, leaving this one as a public, and then clicking here on the create repository. Now you can see you have this GitHub repository here. Next thing, we are going to see how can we set up Git in our system, then how can we clone that repository locally, and we can push our files over here, whatever the code we have. For the same, I'm opening a new tab here and writing here download Git, and this is the first link, official link I'm using to download the Git here, and here I'm downloading the Git for Windows. So it's 64 setup I want to download. Let it get done, then we will proceed and install the Git in our system. Once Git is installed, then we have to configure the GitHub account details over here, and then we will clone the repository. That's fine. So it is done. Now I'm opening this one, and let me execute this one. So next, then again click on the next here, next, leave everything as it is, and just click here install option. So this will install the Git in your system. Once Git is installed in your system, then you have to configure the username and email. Then after that you can go for the authentication for the same. That's fine. Majorly why we are using GitHub we are using to put our code in a central location so everyone can access the code. Suppose multiple developers are working on a same project and each developer having the code in their system only, then maybe we are having some differences on the code. So instead of that, what we can do, we can use the GitHub to put the code in a central location and each and every person can access that code very easily. That's fine, let it get installed, then we will proceed. Okay, so now I'm opening the git bash here, git bash. Then I'm switching my directory to the C drive. This is not a mandatory step. I want to save all my repos when I clone it on the C drive. You can select the location of your choice over here. Okay. Now here what I'm going to do next is I'm going to configure the Git first of all. So I'm checking the version of the Git what I'm using. So this is the one. Then after that I'm writing here git config global user dot name. In my case the name is Ayush class AZ. So this is the name. Then here I'm running git config global user dot email, and here I'm giving the name Ayush class 1 at the rate outlook.com. So the same username what you have set up on GitHub you have to enter, and the email you have to mention here. That's okay. Now I'm done with this one. After that I have to clone the repository on my local system. For the same I have to run the command here git clone, and then from the browser where I have created the repository I have to copy this repo URL. So I have copied it from here, and then I'm pasting it and enter. Here you can see it is done. If I write here cd and I go to the my first repo, now here you can see I'm in my first repo. If I open the explorer here, so in the C drive, this is the folder where I am having my first repo. Then after that, suppose here I am creating a file. So I am just mimicking. I am creating any file over here. So readme file I have created, and I am writing here this is a Git and GitHub demo. Okay. So this is the content I have added. So this is the first file what I have created locally on my repository. Now the what next thing I am going to do, I am going to push it on the GitHub by using the Git over there. That's fine. I'm closing this file from here, minimizing this one, and here you can see I have configured the Git already. If I write here git space status, then you can see I'm getting the changes here. Then after that I am adding git add option over here, and after git tag here I am writing git commit dash m, and here I am giving the message first file upload. Any message you can give here, it's up to you. Okay. Then after that in the next step you have to write git push dash u, or instead of that you can directly write origin main. So main means that in the main branch you are pushing the changes. For the very first time when you are running the command, it will ask you for the authentication. From the next time you can go ahead and directly work. So here I am using sign in with browser option over here, and let me authorize this operation. Okay, now I'm minimizing this one, and here you can see all the changes are updated over here. If I come back to the browser here, go to my repository here and refresh it, now you can see I have this file here in place. So what I have done, I have configured the GitHub, then I have downloaded the Git, configured it on my system, cloned the repository locally, and uploaded the file over here by using the Git. So congratulations, you have configured the GitHub, configured the Git, cloned the repository locally, created your first file, and pushed it over to the GitHub in all in one go. So that's all about in this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.